Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm going to be giving you part 32 of What If Naruto Was Neglected by Everyone. Remember to share to all of your friends and social media platform. And also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Was from the two greatest clans and enjoy that guys. And I also posted a new episode of What If Naruto was banished and gathered all the Jinjurikis over on Anime King 2. So go ahead and check out that and enjoy. And stay in tune for What If Izuna Uchiha was Naruto's ancestor, and I hope you guys enjoy each and every What If coming tonight. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support. And remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. So yeah, without further ado, let's begin this new episode. Start the intro.
I think the girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their nails.
So, the last part we left off, Naruto walked around the stone village as everyone greeted their humble leader, as they all smiled and waved at him. As Naruto went to visit Karin, as he told her to get herself ready, he then left as he found Sasuke training with two Jonin level shinobi in a training area. As Naruto asked him if he's ready, as Sasuke had an arrogant tone. As the two Jonins looked at their leader, Sasuke was the only one that talked to him in this manner, as he didn't have respect in his tone, but they know that he wasn't against their leader, so they're not going to say anything, and their leader doesn't seem to mind about it. As Naruto told Sasuke to get ready in 30 minutes, and he's also going to bring Konan along, as Sasuke was angry, asking why the hell does she have to come along, as Naruto said that he made a promise to her, and it's not an option. As with that he headed off. He then went to visit Konan, as he told her to get ready, as he will be back soon, as she asked him how exactly is he going to get Danzo, as Naruto told her he's going to get him in the village. And with that he headed to Konoha. The moment he came to the barrier, the shinobi sensory core went off rapidly, as Naruto simply made his way through the village, as he went by Ichiraku Ramen, as the old man and his daughter were shocked, as they remember the day when they poisoned him because the villagers want them to do it. As Amy could only ask if he's here to kill them, but he did not give her a straight answer. Before he could do anything else, the ninjas and the Anvus arrived. As Naruto walked outside, but another group of Anvus arrived and went to attack Naruto, but a strange force ripped their body to pieces. Lee and his team also arrived to get revenge for Guy, but Naruto blew all of them away like they were nothing. Naruto then blinked away as he went underground, as Danzo sent all of his root agents, hundreds of them, to stop Naruto while he took off his patch and the gauntlet around his arm. But Danzo was beyond shock when he saw Naruto walk inside. It had only been a minute or two, and all of his ninjas, none of them were there. As Danzo was beyond shocked, he did not understand. Even if he is strong, how could one man do that within seconds? As Roots were capable ninja. As a seal then activate on the ground, as Danzo tried to put Naruto under a genjutsu. But he was stupid to think that his ability would work on Naruto. As Toru, Fu, and Sai attacked Naruto, but Naruto simply dismissed all of them. The ground then cracked open as a root came up and grabbed Danzo and started to pull him underground, as he was warped away in a dimension. When Danzo came out back, he was sweating. In that dimension, up was down, right was left, left was right, the place was just strange. As he came face to face with the last Uchiha, and this blue-haired woman who he didn't know. But she looked so familiar, as Naruto leave a clone behind. Meanwhile, at Kumo, the meeting was going on, as suddenly they heard commotions, as a ninja burst into the room and told them that he was here. So yeah guys, that was basically last part we left off. You guys can switch across the place and check it out for yourself. So let's start this new episode. All the Kages stood up as they looked towards the man at the door. As Naruto was standing there, he was just looking at them with a calm look on his face. As all of the Kage's bodyguards stepped forward to protect them. As Kakashi and Shikaku Naru was there, Mei had Kojuro and Ayo. Darui and C were behind the Raikage even though this was his place. They were still there to witness the meeting. Behind Oniki was Kurasaki and Kinsoke. As Temari had her brother behind her and also Baki. As they all looked towards Naruto. He simply made his way inside, but he didn't say anything to them. He went for one of the chairs over to the other part of the room. As he brought it up to the table and sit down, still the calm look on his face. As all of them were looking at him, he has the right to just come in here and sit down like that. Suddenly, a barrage of shinobis and envoys start to make their way inside, but Naruto simply waved his hand, and a white barrier came around the entire room that they were in. As the ninjas tried to pass through it, but none of them could. And they didn't want to do any high-scale jutsus in here, as they run the chance of the entire place collapsing, affecting the Kage's life. Minato was the first to speak. Naruto, what are you doing here? Well, you are having a meeting to talk about the state of the world. I am a big part of the world, so I have to be here, Naruto said. He then waved his hand as a pocket dimension opened, as he pushed his hand inside. As he pulled out the mask he got from the envoy at Konoha, he placed it on the table. As Minato looked in shock. What have you done? An amused look came on Naruto's face. Do you think I destroyed Konoha? He asked. As Minato started to shake, as he looked at Naruto with anger. Oh, I just want to see your reaction. What if you weren't there and I went and destroyed all? Naruto said. Naruto! Minato screamed. What have you done? Don't get too mad, Naruto said. The village is fine. I just went there to get someone. And who was that? Minato asked. Danzo Shimura, Naruto said. Danzo? What do you want with Danzo? Asked Minato. It's not me who want him. He was a big part of the plan to wipe out the Uchiha clan. And Sasuke was angry. I couldn't leave him unpleased. What? Sasuke? He's with you now? Yes. You can say that he's officially joined the Sound. So, Naruto said as he looked around the room. What are you guys planning? Are you planning to attack me and my village? To unite all your forces? To wipe me off the scale of the world? Because I've become such a problem. Neither of them said anything, as Naruto just kept on looking at them. Perhaps I should tell you what I'm planning, he said, as all of them looked at him curiously. You people took the Bijous and gathered them up because they were mindless beasts. That is what you thought. You used them for their power. You controlled them because you had the arts to seal them away and use them as you see fit. It was because you were stronger. There was a lot of you. They didn't have a chance against the seal in a race that you placed on them. So, for this world I can see something now. The weak does not survive. The strong prevail over all. And that is why I've come to tell you all. Seeing that I'm stronger than each of you, it's only right that I take your village. What? Said Minato. Well, you took control over the Bijous because you are stronger. I am stronger than all of you combined right here. So it's only right that I take control of everything. This entire world shall come under my reign. Do you really think we would allow you to do that? Said Temari. Suddenly, Oniki spoke. You spoiled rotten child, he said. Naruto turns attention towards Oniki. I've heard about what happened to you at Konoha. Just a mistreated tailed beast. A boy who's been treated badly for almost all of his life. That is why you seek out power this way, to try and make people feel pain how you feel pain back then. You're sadly mistaken, said Naruto. Human feelings don't really mean much to me anymore. What do you mean by that? Said Minato. You haven't noticed, Naruto said, as he looked at Minato. As Minato noticed Naruto's appearance, his eyes mostly. You've changed. What happened to you? This is not what happened when you absorbed the 10 tails. Considering from your reactions, you all know what he's talking about, said Naruto. Yes, I have achieved a new level of power, Naruto said. He simply tapped his finger on the table, as a green light washed over the room. As all of them saw what happened, they saw when Naruto faced off against Kaguya, and they saw who she was. After Naruto was speaking, the mother of the Sage of Six Paths. The light then vanished, as all of them looked at him, in a new light. How is that possible? Said Temari. The Sage of Six Paths' mother? And being not from this world? And now you have her power as well? Yes, you've seen it all, Naruto said. Now, will you all surrender peacefully and hand over your villages? You all should be enslaved by the strongest, as I see it. So, how do you go about my offer, Naruto asks. Oniki scoffed. It doesn't matter how strong you are. For you to stand against the entire 5 great shinobi nations, you will fail. We will not allow you to take this world and do as you seem fit. He's right, the Raikage said, speaking for the first time. It doesn't matter how strong you are and what you have become, human or not, we will not allow you to do as you please. So do what you want, boy. We will come there and crush your village and defeat you as well, said Oniki. Naruto turned towards Oniki fully. How old are you, Naruto asked. As Oniki was caught off guard by that question. What? Haven't you been a Kage for long enough? Oniki narrowed his eyes at Naruto dangerously. What's that supposed to mean? Naruto turned his head as he looked at Kurosaki. You were the one that was in the office with him. You're his granddaughter, right? So in any case, if he was supposed to kick the bucket, you're the next in line to become Tishikage. Younger people are more better to deal with, Naruto said. In a quick motion, Naruto fired a strange bone towards Oniki. Kinsaki quickly opened his mouth as an earth golem came from his mouth and stood in front of Oniki, taking the bone. But as soon as the bone pierced right in the earth golem, it started to disintegrate as it vanished into nothingness. As Naruto looked at Oniki who floated above him, Oniki quickly made his way through hand sign, particle style, dismantling jutsu, he said, as Naruto was trapped in a cylinder. Now you will die, boy, he said, as an explosion went off inside the cylinder. It then vanished, as Naruto was no longer there. Even his chair, the entire area that he was, disintegrated. As all of them looked in shock, as Maid Terumi looked over. Up to this point, she hasn't even said anything yet. Is he really dead? She wondered. You're quite fast for an old man, said a voice, as the entire room turned and looked around, as Naruto was at the window looking outside. Right, Kage? It seems like all of your ninjas have gathered around. Trying to break through my barrier. It seems they want to attack me, even though they know that they're going into their demise. It still seems that they still want to fight me. That is what I want as well. The respect, not fear, for all of them to know that I am above them, to know that they're not on my level, to know that they must respect me. It doesn't matter if I've taken or conquered their village. Naruto then turned his attention back to the group. The moment he turned around, Oniki fired off several stone bullets towards Naruto's direction. But before any of them could hit him, they simply dissolved into dirt and blew away. As Oniki narrowed his eyes, he went through hand sign again, particle style. Enough of that, Naruto said as he raised his hand. A force blow from his hand that smashed into Oniki with so much force his bone cracked, as everyone in the room could hear it. As Oniki smashed into the wall, Naruto then sank into a strange black portal. The portal then opened up right in front of Oniki. In an instant, Naruto saw kunai flash at his foot as Minato flashed right there and swung a kick towards Naruto's head. Naruto raised his hand and grabbed Minato's leg. As he tossed Minato around and released him, but Minato threw a kunai while he was flying back. He then appeared in front of Naruto with a Rasengan in hand as he thrust it forward. But Naruto simply held out his hand. The Rasengan smashed into his palm. But it wasn't affecting him. To Minato's surprise, he was absorbing it. Damn it, Minato said as he flashed away to where he dropped his first kunai at his seat. As a huge gust of wind then blew towards Naruto. But to Temari's surprise, Naruto did not move as the gust of wind just blew past him, blowing his cloak. But he stood firm. The right Kage appeared behind Naruto with one hand as he brought it down a chopping motion to sever Naruto's head in half. But a burst of chakra released from Naruto blew the right Kage back to the ground as the tremendous chakra washed over the entire place. All of them stood still. Neither of them could move the bodyguards. All of them were stuck in one place. The amount of chakra radiating off of him. As Kojo dropped to his knees as he could barely breathe, the rest of them did the same, with just the Kages standing up as sweats started to build along their brow. Oniki was on the ground. Tremendous pressure was pushing on him. His body felt broken and he was being pushed down. Naruto reached down as he grabbed Oniki by the shirt and lifted him up into the air. A rift then tear open right in front of him. As smoke was coming out of the rift, inside was melting lava. As Naruto simply tossed Oniki's body inside, all of them being pushed down by the force of his chakra, neither of them can flash over to him and save Oniki. As they watched, as they heard the old man scream before it went silent. The rift then closed as Naruto released the pressure around the room as all of them tried to catch their breaths. Naruto then walked over as he got another chair and calmly sat down as all of them looked at him with shock and disbelief on their face. As Kurosaki and Kinsuki had tears in their eyes. As Kurosaki clenched her fist so tight, blood was coming from her palm, but Kinsuki held on to her for her not to do anything stupid. As Naruto didn't say anything, he just allowed them to catch their breaths. After a minute or two, all of them just glared at him, neither of them sitting down. As Naruto looked at his feet, as Shikaku had caught his breath and able to use his shadow, as he connected his shadow to Naruto's, trapping Naruto in one place, he thought. "I've got him, Hokage-sama," said Shikaku. "Good work," said Minato. Naruto then spoke. "Before you all try anything, you should know, the Mizukage here is on my side." That caught everyone off guard, as Mei was looking at Naruto with total disbelief. As she was stunned, she didn't know what to say. As all of them looked at her, wondering if this was true or not. "Mizukage, is this true?" the Raikage asked. She didn't say anything, just looking down. As the Raikage looked at Kojiro and Ayo expression, they didn't even know. She didn't have a choice, Naruto said, bringing the attention back to him. "If she'd never listened to me, Kiri would probably be in shambles right now." He then turned towards Kojiro and Ayo. "So you should be grateful that your leader is wise, or the both of you would have probably been dead already. So, that is one of your options out of the war," Naruto said. As he looked at the entire group, "Kiri will not be attacking me. As I can call it, Kiri is under my protection, and it's now a part of the sound." "What? I didn't agree to any of that," she said. Naruto turned towards her. "Woman, I told you, when I speak, it is what I say goes." As she clenched her fists, but she didn't say anything. After that display a minute ago, she knew that this boy is fully capable of killing her. And if she failed right now, and he warned her about what he will do to Kiri if she ever betrayed him. So right now, she just stood there with a calm look on her face, but inside, she was a mess. As the other Kages looked at her. "That is the reason why he got the 6 tails. That is why they found out that we were going to transport it," said Temari. You were the one that told him. Yes, she did, Naruto said, as May clenched her fist even more. She told me a lot of information. You see, you can never know who you can trust nowadays, Naruto said. Perhaps, even you're working for me, Naruto said, as he looked towards Temari. I would never, she said. I know that, Naruto said. That's because I killed your brother. You want revenge. As Naruto noticed, Kankuro tightened his fist as well. You want revenge as well. For your brother who you mistreated. Who the village hated and you didn't do anything about it. He was a monster after all. Why do you even care? Naruto then stood up to Shikaku's surprise, as a shadow was drawn from Shikaku, as it was sucked right into Naruto's palm. Do you really think that could hold me? Naruto said. As he then looked at Kurosaki. I suppose you're the new Kage. I will give you all a week to consider your options. Give up your village freely to me, and let me control it all. Or, fight against me, and we will see who wins. And Minato, it doesn't matter what happened, I will still destroy Konoha. But, because of my change, there will be a choice. Human's life doesn't really matter much to me, but there will still be a choice. Not for the village, but for your family. Let's see which one you care about the most, Naruto said. He then turned towards me, Kojiro, and Ao. He waved his hand as a rift tear wide open. On the other side was Kiri. Go, Naruto said. Why should we go anywhere with you, Kojiro said as he gripped his sword handle. Listen to me, boy, Naruto said. You have no right to speak. I wasn't even speaking to you. And most of all, know that you all know she's working for me. What do you think they're going to do? She's now a traitor to the entire world. Do you want them to attack Kiri and kill all of you? Or to kill you right here? Or do you really think that you're strong enough to face off against them? Because from what I see, I surely doubt it, Naruto said. Now go, before I force you. Ao, Kojiro, just do it, May said. Yes, Mizukage-sama. And with that, they went into the portal, as it shut behind them, as Naruto simply turns attention back to the Kages. Soon enough you all will understand that I am not the one that will bring destruction to this world. I am the one that will save it. There's only destructions need to be taken in order to change this world. Currently, there is violence, hatred, corruption in this world. And if I don't do this now, it will remain the same. If you don't do what, said Minato. Eradicating all of that hatred and violence, Naruto said. Konoha will be one of the main targets. You other villages, try your best, but your village will still be purged from all of the corruption. And soon enough you all will come to thank me. Because when the future comes, you will find out that I am the one who actually saved this world. But before that, redemption must come, Naruto said. And it will come soon enough. As he stepped off, a portal ripped open in front of him as he stepped inside and vanished. As the entire group looked at each other, as they were at a loss to do right now, as Kurosaki was just standing there, pure rage and hatred building in her heart, as she just watched her grandfather die in front of her like nothing. And that man is so casual about everything he does. So much rage was inside of her. She wanted to kill him, she wanted to make him suffer. But he's too strong for her to do anything on her own. I say we still do it, she said. We cannot let this man take over the entire world. What would this world be then, she said to them, as she looked at all of them. You're right, said Temari, but he's just so... It doesn't matter who he is, Kage said, as he slammed his one hand on the decks. He will go down, no matter how hard or long it takes. This world will get rid of him, one way or another. As Minato watched, all of them turned towards him, waiting to hear what he has to say. I agree with you all 100%, said Minato. For this world to go back to normal, Naruto has to die. He has to die. There was no more saying that he can change him. That stopped a long time ago. He was only saying that because of his family that he has remained. To think that they could change him was just a very stupid thinking. He has to die for this world to come back to normal. And Minato, it didn't matter how he does it. He has to be the one to end him. He was part of the reason to bring him in this world. He was part of the reason to make him suffer. So, he has to be the one to take all that suffering away from him and end his life. Meanwhile, Naruto arrived at the scene where he left Danzo. As he saw the battle was still going on. As he saw down there, well, it was about to end. As his clone was watching from a distance as well. Danzo's arm was missing. He had several cuts all over his body. There was a strange black symbol in his chest, and strange black ink oozing out of it. It seems like he's gonna blow himself up, Naruto thought. As he saw a weakened and tired Sasuke on the ground. But he saw Konan as she had paper wings extended from her back. She grabbed onto both Sasuke and Karin, who was lying there. As she flew off, as the explosion blew a great portion of the earth. As the debris and the dust and the force knocked her out of the air. She also looked a bit tattered here and there. But she and Sasuke weren't that bad. It seems like Sasuke was exhausted from overusing the Sharingan. And his eyes were bleeding. Perhaps it's the right time to give him those eyes, Naruto thought. But it seems like they bring Danzo to the point of death, where he tried to kill himself to take them out. As Naruto watched, as Konan looked over, with a triumphant, tired look on her face, as Sasuke was giving a mad smirk. As it was finally over, they managed to kill that bastard, because he kept coming back alive every time. Until Sasuke tricked him, making him think that he had one more eye open. When Konan stabbed him right through the back with a paper spear. He was going to die anyway, but he decided to blow himself up to try and take them with him. Naruto looked over as his clone nodded to him. The clone then vanished as all information went into Naruto as he saw the battle through his mind. As he made his way over there and looked at the three of them on the ground as Karin was passed out cold. Seems like she took a knock to the head from Danzo. It seems you won, Naruto said. What do you think we were going to lose? Sasuke asked as he stood on his feet. Uchiha, your eyes. It seems like it's time for you to get the Eternal. Naruto then looked over at Konan. How do you feel now? He asked. What are you talking about? She said. Well, you got piece of your revenge. The only thing you need now is to complete the goal of bringing peace to the world by your friend's status. I guess you're right, she said. But that bastard, after what he did, he deserved to die, she said, as she looked over at the explosion where it happened. Now, can you get us out of here? I need to rest, she said. Later that night, Naruto was on top of his tower as he was watching the moon. He was just looking up in the sky like a robot as he hadn't even moved an inch. Just looking up watching the moon. As he was spreading his senses all the way up there. So I'm not mistaken, he said. With that, he started to ascend off the ground as he started to float. He then pushed off with a boom. It took seconds for Naruto to reach up there as he was moving as fast as he could go. As he finally arrived, landing down on the moon, he started to walk around as he's been sensing something rather strange. And it seems like he wasn't wrong, as he kept on walking and walking until he finally arrived. There was a place built in the moon. This seemed interesting, he said, as he walked up to the large iron doors. He placed his hand on it. Strange, he said, as he simply pushed it wide open and walked inside. He knew he sensed something, but now it was like it wasn't here. Were they trying to fool him? Were they hiding? As he kept on walking until he walked into a dark hall. Naruto snapped his finger as a fireball created above him, illuminating the place so he could see around. As he could see rather clearly now. Who are you? Said a voice. As Naruto turned his head towards the left and saw a man standing there. You can call me Naruto, Naruto said. And who are you, if I might ask? I am Tenere. Osusuki. How did you get here? Tenere asks. Osusuki, Naruto said. But you're not one of them. Who is coming for Kaguya? So, who are you exactly? Naruto said to him. Kaguya? Who are you, boy? How do you know that name? Answer my question first. If you're not one of them who is going after Kaguya, then how are you here? And why are you here? Naruto said. And I see that you're not alone, as Naruto looked up to see two others with white hair as well. Osusuki's on the moon. That's rather strange, Naruto said, as he stepped forward. If it was the enemy that Kaguya feared, you guys have been here a long time ago to try and find her and kill her. But you're not, so you must be something else. Now answer my question, Naruto said. I will not answer anything you have to say, boy, until you tell me how do you know As Tenere couldn't get to finish that sentence, Naruto appeared in front of him in a blur. I said, answer my question. Tenere raised his hand as he pointed towards Naruto's chest, but before he could fire off a beam straight through Naruto, Naruto smacked away his hand as the beam shot into the ground. Naruto then grabbed him by the throat, as Tenere was struggling to breathe. Who are you? You can't be mortal, he said. The other two from above jumped down, as they started to release attacks after attacks at Naruto. But a barrier came up around Naruto, as it protected him from every blast. The both of them appeared behind Naruto, as they thrust their arm forward to try and grab him. But Naruto flexed his power, as they were blown back. None of you are real Osusukis, Naruto said, as he still held on tight towards Tenere's throat. As the man struggled to get free from Naruto, as he was trying to claw at Naruto's hands to tear off his hands. But it didn't matter what he do, Naruto held him tight. Naruto reached forward as he placed a hand on Tenere's head, as the other two from behind him started to fire off barrage of attacks, but the barrier stopped them from attacking Naruto, as Tenere's eyes went wide as his hand dropped to his side. As Naruto started to go through his mind, but Tenere's eyes focused as he flexed his power and pushed Naruto back. As Naruto stood upright, that was a lot of information to take in. So, you want the pure Byakugan to achieve the Tensegan. And if the world doesn't meet your status, you are planning on destroying it? How bold of you, Naruto said. As suddenly, 10 other members surrounded Naruto. All of you are half Osusukis, half humans. Because of Hamura Osusuki, do you know about the danger that the world faces? What? Tenere said. Yes, Kaguya was running. She was running from other Osusukis that are coming to Earth to destroy it. I know that they won't be pleased finding you all here, as they probably see you all as abomination, half Osusukis, half humans. So I'm here to give you an offer. Join me and be on my side to help me eliminate all of the Osusukis that we might face. Tenere scoffed. Give us an offer? Why would we join you? You have just shown me something very important, boy. Oh? And what is that, Naruto asks? That the Sage of Six Paths has created a flawed world. This world is very flawed. If someone like you has this power to do what he please, I can feel it within you when you touch me. You have no good intentions. It might seem good to you, but you're dark. You're a flawed, corrupted human. And it seems like you have the power of the Osusukis running through your vein. I don't know how you got these powers, but I won't allow you to go back to Earth, because in any case I will destroy it. It doesn't deserve to continue on. A small chuckle escaped Naruto's lips. And how do you plan on getting to Earth without getting by me? Naruto said. Oh, I wasn't. I was going to go through you. Suddenly, Naruto was surrounded by these half-breeds. It seems like there's a lot more of you here, Naruto said. But you should know, I am not like you. I have absorbed the full Osusuki, and not to mention the power of all of the Jinchurikis. I am beyond what you can even comprehend, so I suggest you bow. As Tenier looked at Naruto, you are truly an arrogant human, suggesting me to bow. Yes, I do. Now all of you, bow before me, Naruto said, and you will not receive a horrible death. All of them looked towards Tenier. Bring me his head, Tenier said. This human deserved to die. As all of them stepped forward, but they were stopped in their tracks. As an aura released from Naruto stopped all of them. Pitiful, pitiful half-breeds, Naruto said. As two horns extended from his forehead. You really think this can face me? You really think this will be enough to take me down? After all I've went through, I've prepared myself for anything. And you half-breeds, you are nothing compared to the real deal. So let me show you power. As Naruto said that, the entire place started to shake. As all of them looked on in fear. As Tenier stepped back a bit. As he saw a black aura surrounding Naruto. Let me show you what true power looked like, Naruto said. As his 10 truth-seeking orbs appeared behind him. As all of them turned into long spears. Naruto snapped his finger. As all of them fired off in all different directions, piercing through some of the half-breeds who weren't fast enough to stop it. As Tenier dashed forward, he brought up his leg to deliver a powerful kick to Naruto's head. But to his surprise, Naruto grabbed his leg and smashed him into the ground with great force. Two half-breeds jumped towards Naruto. Naruto simply extended his hand as two bone fly from it and stab into the both of them, as their body disintegrated within seconds. Naruto then brought down his foot as he stomped on Teneri's stomach as blood came out of his mouth. Naruto then grabbed Teneri as he smashed him into another half-breed as the both of them slammed into the ground. This is a creation of the Sage of the Sixth Path. The moon, he created this, Naruto said. This is still something he has over me. He still has a physical feeling in this world because of what he created. Well, no more, Naruto said. This world will be mine soon enough, and I will not allow this. Suddenly, Naruto looked up as the roof exploded. He then flies straight upwards. As Teneri looked up, as he saw Naruto gathering its power into his hand. What the hell is he doing? Teneri then fly up as well. What are you doing? He said. I'm destroying it. You. All of it. Bow down, half-breed, Naruto said. As a force crashed into Teneri, he was sent as he smashed into the moon with great force. As Teneri could not move. What the hell is this? As Naruto raised his hand, as his truth-seeking orbs came together, as they created a small tiny ball that was the size of a pebble. As black aura came from Naruto's hand and went into it, it started to pulsate with some white light. As Naruto flicked the ball downwards, as Teneri watched in shock, as the ball started to drop with so much force, the moment it touched the moon. Meanwhile, on Earth, what? Said Kushina. He really did that? As Minato was informing them what happened at the meeting. As Mito clenched her fists, and so did Narumi. What are we gonna do? Every time he stepped far and farther into the darkness, there is no coming back for him now, said Mito. As Kushina and Minato looked at her with surprise. She's right, Narumi said. We've been fooling ourselves for too long now. Naruto is gone. There is no way of us saving him. We have to stop him by any means. She then stopped as something was going on as they heard people screaming outside. As they went out there, as Minato looked up in pure utter shock. Meanwhile at Kiri, Mizukage-sama, Mizukage-sama, as Mei was finishing up for the night. Someone burst inside. What is it? She said. It's the moon, the man said. The moon? What is happening to the... As she froze in shock. At the stone. Kurosaki was looking up into the sky as she just lost her grandfather. The council had a hectic meeting today. They're going to name her as the new teacher Kage, as she was just watching the moon until... Oh my god, she said. At Kumo. What the hell? The right Kage said. As everyone was watching the moon that exploded. At the sand village, Temari could only watch in shock, as they couldn't believe what they were seeing, as Conqueror was there as well. Meanwhile, Naruto was standing above everything as a small ball dropped into the moon. The entire thing exploded, swallowing up the moon as well, eradicating the moon. As debris and chunks started to fall to earth, as Naruto's horns went back inside, as he relaxed the tension off his shoulders. As he flexed his hand, he gathered a great portion of power, and yet still there was so much still inside of him, wanting to be released. A far, far, far distance away, great many miles, two people were sitting down. Did you sense that? One of them said. Yes, again, that power spread through the cosmos. Don't worry, soon enough, we will find it, and we will end it. Now let's get back to this, as they looked at a massive tree in front of them. Meanwhile, Naruto looked down as he saw the meteors were going down to earth. As he focused attention on the earth, as his eyes seemed to zoom in towards the sound village. He couldn't allow this to happen. He extended his hand forward as red beams started to fire off each one of his fingers, eradicating the large debris that were falling from the moon to the earth. As he destroyed every single one of them. As Naruto slowly descended down to earth. As he was just watching everything, as he could see the landscape, everything from here. Soon enough, this will be mine, he said. But guys, we end this episode right here. If you want to see the next part of this, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn that bell notification, stay posted. Remember to share to all of your friends in your social media platform. And yeah guys, without further ado, I'm over for now. See you guys soon. Peace.